1 minute till open. We're in the open.
Gets the end zone. Saints win. Saints win. The Bishop Dwenger Saints are your 2018 state champions. Knappy looks to throw. He wings it out. Right side. He's got a deep player. He's out there. It is caught. It is a touchdown. The lights are on. The mics are live, and we are ready. It's time for the high school football game of the week right here on Redeemer Radio.
There we go. There we go. For every Saints.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to high school football on Redeemer Radio. We're broadcasting live from Bishop Dwenger High School, where tonight the Saints will host the Northrop Bruins. Before we begin, we want to send things down to Nick Gray, who's on the sidelines with Father David Hunick. Nick, take it away.
Welcome to the sidelines, everybody. A nice, crisp evening. We got Father David. Father, would you please kick this off with opening prayer?
Of course. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the gifts you have bestowed upon us. We thank you for the gift of our very lives. We pray that you bless us this evening. Bless all the listeners at home. Send them the peace of the Holy Spirit. We pray for all involved in tonight's game, the players, coaches, referees, and all those in attendance. We ask for the intercession of the Blessed Virgin Mary this day, and we ask all things through Christ our Lord, amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Hey, let's send it back up to you guys.
There you go, guys.
Thank you, Father, as always, making your job nice and easy down there, Nick. All right, and with that, we welcome you to Shields Field on the campus of Bishop Dwenger High School. Alongside Corey Kitchen, I am Eric Pete. And lo and behold, we've made it, Corey. Week 9, the final game of the regular season. And I guess I could say, regardless of all the win-loss records out there, everyone in the SAC is a winner because we got to play a whole regular season of high school football. And that's something to be happy about.
No doubt about it. And, that was something that was definitely in question when we kicked this thing off 9 weeks ago, whether we would make it to the end. And, I feel for all of those spring athletes last spring that didn't get an opportunity to have their season. So thankful for these football players get that opportunity.
And that is a credit not only to the players, but the coaching staffs, the entire school administration. I mean, there is just a laundry list of people that have helped make that possible. And for that to be the case for the whole SAC conference and no team having to miss a game is just a testament to these kids and everything they've put together to make sure that they can take the field every Friday night.
No, great point. Absolutely.
We're excited to bring this one to you again. It is the Saints versus the Northrop Bruins. And as the Bishop Dwenger Saints make their way to the sideline, we are going to pause in a few moments and listen to the national anthem.
Feels like I got him out of his rhythm earlier, so.
And a bonus second prayer.
Holy Spirit's got more to give us. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Holy Father, you are so good to us. We thank you for this double blessing, this opportunity to glorify you, that we may grow in the virtues of gratitude and humility. And we ask, Holy Spirit, that you give us hearts of Christ to everyone we encounter. We ask these prayers in Christ's name. Amen. Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
And here we go, folks. Tonight's game is brought to you by Peter Franklin Jewelers, located in Fort Wayne, Angola, and New Haven. We have the best diamond fashion designs in the area and offer the largest collection of loose diamonds and bridal collections. So come on into Peter Franklin Jewelers and talk with one of our experts today. Well, once again, the Bishop Dwenger Saints are hosting the Northrop Bruins. Bruins running out onto the field right now. And as we take a look at these two teams, Corey, obviously Bishop Dwenger coming in as the favorite, 7-1. They're number 2 in the Class 5A. And Northrop is 4-4, but we just saw them come off of a pretty big win last week against Northside, 28-27. Came down to the very end as the Bruins stopped the Legends on a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, big win for them to get to 4-4, and that's been a good year for them over the course of the last few. It's been a struggle there, but I think Coach Dorfler's got it turned around. A big treat. We're heading into Halloween season here, Eric. Our treat tonight is to get to see one of the best running backs in the state of Indiana face the Saints defense, arguably one of the better defensive units in the state. And that's in Northrop senior running back Demarius Cowan. Comes in 7th in the state and 1st in Northeast Indiana, 1,368 yards through 8 games, 171 yards a game, and they hand it off to him on average 26 times a game. So, Eric, get used to saying his name tonight.
Demarius Cowan. Got it. Well, he has been, for all intents and purposes, the running back to beat in the SAC this year, as you said, Corey. He's gone over 200 yards 4 times, and it's no coincidence those are the 4 games that the Bruins have come out on the victorious side.
No doubt about it. He is the engine that makes them go.
So we look at the Northrop Bruins, as you said, 4-4. Bishop Dwenger played them twice last year because now in Class 5A, the Bruins are in the same sectional as the Bishop Dwenger Saints. And we saw last year in the final game of the regular season, Bishop Dwenger struggle a bit against this squad, just winning by a score of 9-7. And then they turned around 3 weeks later in the sectional, and 42-0 was a score there as the Saints advanced to the regional round. So 2 very different games. I don't know that you can take much from either of those because these are new teams and new seasons. But the Saints have definitely had the upper hand as of late, winning 8 straight in this matchup.
Yeah, how about that? Big difference in the 2 games that they played a year ago, and only time will tell whether they'll get a second opportunity against the Bruins if they can beat Northside in the first round of the sectional.
Right. Well, Northrop would love to get a win tonight, be their first winning regular season since 2006, and that season under Coach Ernie Boschrab.
How about that?
Yeah. So the team's meeting at midfield. Bishop Dwenger has won the toss. They've deferred to the second half and will be kicking towards the scoreboard. Corey, let's talk about some keys to tonight's matchup.
Well, for Northrop, no secret, they're going to want to run the ball. They want to control the clock, keep this a low-scoring game. Most importantly for them, keep the score close. If they get behind by more than a score or 2, takes the ball out of the hands of Demarius Cowan and forces their sophomore quarterback, Keon Bates, to make plays in the passing game. And so far this year, their offense has shown that they really aren't built for that. For the Saints, they want to slow down Cowan. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him, but and continue their offensive balance. The last thing I'd say is keep an eye on the special teams tonight. It appears to be an area where the Saints have a real advantage. You could see some key plays in the kicking and the return game for the Saints tonight.
All right, we are set to go here at Shields Field. The Saints kicking away, and Joe Belanda is standing at his own 30-yard line. Kick this one away to the Bruins. Cool, crisp night here. Great night for high school football. And he's going to squib it. It is covered at the 29-yard line, and that's where the Bruins will start.
Number 15 for the Bruins jumped on that. That's Amarian Collins, and going to give him decent field position to get started here, almost out to the 30.
So you mentioned their sophomore quarterback. And it's been a bit of a challenge, an uphill battle for him. Of course, he's coming in and replacing the injured senior quarterback, Kareem Freeman, who had a broken hand. He's been playing outside linebacker in a cast while that heals. So here we go. Bates in the shotgun. They'll spread it out with trips to the high side of the field on 1st and 10. Bates is going to take the snap, run straight through the middle. He's got a lot of running room through the line of linebackers all the way up to the 40-yard line. That's good for a gain of 11 and a Northrop first down.
Really good decision there by Keon Bates, the quarterback, young sophomore quarterback. Went speed option to the left, and everybody is going to key on Demarius Cowan, obviously, but he decided to keep it himself and pick up their first down of the evening.
After runs like that, they might want to key on Bates.
Well said, yes.
1st and 10. Again, trips to the high side of the field. Here's the handoff. Cowan with his first carry of the game. He'll get 2 yards up to the 42-yard line.
Ran straight up the middle with Cowan, but the Saints defense there, Devin Tittman as well as Jack Knight in on the tackle, picked up about 2.
2nd and 8. Saints trying to replicate another stellar defensive effort, holding Snyder to 7 last week in their 17-7 victory. Bates again in the shotgun, and same formation with trips to the far side of the field. Cowan standing next to him in the shotgun. And now he's going to switch sides as Dwenger shows blitz. Here's the snap. Bates looks to throw, looks to the far side, passes it out, and it is incomplete. Dangerously falls at the feet of the intended receiver. That's number 12, Jaden Schmink.
And I went with a little bubble screen off to the left-hand side. As we mentioned in the open, the passing game is just really not a big strength for the Bruins. They're only averaging about 79 yards a game passing, whereas they're averaging nearly 250 yards a night on the ground. So,
right.
So the passing game is something that they don't want to be forced to use, and you saw it on that play. Not real comfortable doing it.
Yep. Bates passed for 91 yards a week ago, and 49 of those came on what proved to be the game-winning touchdown. Here is 3rd and 8. Bates to throw. Now he's going to step up into the pocket under pressure, escapes the pressure, now across the 45 to the 50, cuts back inside, spins move down inside the Bishop Dwenger 40-yard line.
Tremendous job on the scramble there by Keon Bates. Now, he's no little guy. He's 5'11", 190, and he proved right there that he's tough to bring down.
Yeah.
Really nice spin move at the end of the run as well.
Yeah, he's not going to beat you with his speed, but he's definitely got some power to his game, and you saw there a little bit of some nice moves as well. 1st and 10 Bruins from the 40-yard line. Inside handoff to Cowan. He is full head of steam forward up to the 35 as he picks up 5 yards on 1st down.
Good looking run play there by the Northrop Bruins. Tackle looked like Sam Pisa down there, 22 for the Saints, but nice 1st down play to pick up 5 right up the middle.
Yeah, and we've seen this Northrop offensive line, these first several plays, they have made some holes in this defense. Trips to the far side once again. Here's Bates in the shotgun on 2nd and 5. Movement before the snap. It's going to be a hard count, and that got Bishop Dwenger to jump across early.
Another really good piece of offensive football there by the Northrop Bruins. Got a 2nd and 5, and they go hard count.
Yeah.
And draw that aggressive Saints defense off sides and pick up another 1st down, their 3rd of the drive.
All the way down to the Bishop Dwenger 30-yard line on this Northrop's first drive of the game. We are scoreless, 9:34 in the opening quarter. Same formation for Bates. 3 receivers to the far side. This time an option. Bates will keep it himself and able to tiptoe forward for about 4 yards as he faked the pitch to Cowan and drove forward for 4.
Yeah, another speed option there from the Bruins, and that's turning out to be a really nice play. They kind of lure everyone into number 34,
yeah,
and the quarterback keeps it. So, again, doing a nice job of staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and about 5.5.
And keeping the Bishop Dwenger defense on their heels. Here's the 2nd down play, an inside handoff to Cowan. Another huge hole to run through. He is through the middle, inside the 20, all the way down to the 11-yard line.
Looked like a little trap play inside there, I think, and really nice run. Not only is he quick through the hole, but you are not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better bring a load if you want to bring down Mr. Cowan.
Well, already on this drive, he has become the career rushing leader at Northrop. He needed only 4 yards coming into the game to break that record. He has done so. And he's got a chance to add to his total. Needs 78 coming into tonight to become the single-season leader at Northrop. Here's a first down play. This is going to hand off to Cowan again. This time the Saints are there to stop him in the backfield.
John Michael Fabini and Tommy Whitty in there from his linebacker position as well. Did a nice job. Or maybe Whitty's playing defensive end, it appears.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle down there. That's not on the program for him, but Tommy's a junior listed as a free safety and a quarterback, but he's playing with his hand in the dirt tonight.
That he is.
Well, as it may seem. I guess it's in the turf. His hand in the turf tonight.
They don't get nearly as dirty that way.
They don't.
2nd and 14 after the loss of 4. Bates, again a delayed handoff. The Saints are there as Cowan drives forward almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
You explained that perfectly. Delayed handoff, a little draw play, and they're still going to have 3rd and long here, but they're certainly in 4-down territory if they want to do that. I don't know what kind of kick unit they've got, but we may find out.
That we may. 3rd and 11. Ball is marked back at the 13-yard line of Bishop Dwenger, as we've already ticked nearly 5 minutes off the clock here in the first quarter. Trips to the far side for Northrop. Bates in the shotgun, looking to the sideline for some instructions. And we're going to have a stoppage. Jason Dorfler is going to call a timeout and talk things over. We'll step aside as well. Be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Are you retirement ready? Without a roadmap, the path towards and into retirement can be difficult. Summit Consultants, Inc., owned and operated by Loras alumni, understands the many concerns individuals and families face as they prepare for retirement. Our goal is to help clients feel confident about their future and pursue their vision of a comfortable retirement. Take the first step. Visit summitconsultantsinc.net or call us at 432-8480. Go Knights! Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA/SIPC.
Back at Shields Field, scoreless first quarter thus far, 6:56 on the clock, and Northrop driving their first possession of the game. They're all the way down to the Bishop Dwenger 13-yard line, facing a 3rd and 11. Big play here early on.
It is, and a good opportunity to take a timeout there for Coach Dorfler. He knows that this is a big play and a big series right out of the gate. They have taken the clock all the way underneath 7 minutes here in the first quarter, and the Saints haven't touched the ball yet. So right according to their game plan.
Yep. Well, they know. They've watched enough Bishop Dwenger this year to know you don't get a lot of scoring chances. They want to make the most of this one. Bates in the shotgun. Saints show pressure. They come off the edge. Bates looks to throw, fires it into the end zone, and it is nearly caught. Incomplete. 2 receivers converged, and it went off the fingertips of one of them as there was a collision in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessarily designed that way for both of those receivers to be there, but it looked like they had 12 Jaden Schmank and also maybe 13 Jaden Billingsley back there, and went right through the hands of Schmank in the very back of the end zone.
Yeah.
So they're going to attempt a field goal here.
Yes, they are. It will be a 29-yard attempt. C.J. Davis on the hold. And Jacob Gump is going to attempt to put this one through. It is no good, and the Saints, here they come on the return. All the way up across the 20, 25, and 27-yard line.
That's Adam Lee.
Adam Lee on the return, making another big play, this time on special teams.
We mentioned in the open that we thought the Saints had a real advantage on special teams coming into the game, and it held true right there. The Bruins have had a tough time in the kicking game this year in games past, so look for that to continue to be a bit of a bugaboo for them throughout the course of the game tonight.
Adam Lee had a big-time interception last week. Right after Bishop Dwenger had taken the lead in the fourth quarter to help them tack on that insurance touchdown. Comes up with another big play here. The Saints on their first play. It is a swing pass out into the flats for Sam Campbell. He takes it across the 35 up to the 36-yard line for a gain of 8.
Looks like a flag down as well. Could be an offsides potentially. And you mentioned it, Sam, nice catch out in the flat. Sam has 15 catches for 155 yards on the season, and we've got procedure on the Saints.
Yeah.
the Saints receiving crew has some real defined roles thus far this season. You've got Sioka who's averaging 21 yards a catch, O'Keefe 21 yards a catch. Those are their deep guys. Campbell is sort of their flat guy, catches the short ones. Jack Titman has 7 catches, 102 yards, but of his 7 catches, 4 of them are touchdowns down in the red zone.
We've seen that tight end play over the middle in the red zone a lot. So 1st and 15, Lytle this time zings it across the middle, and Rocco Sioka goes back behind his body to bring that ball in.
Great catch. It was exactly right, Eric. It was behind him on that slant route a little bit, but Rocco, as he has done all season long, makes a great catch with his hands and brings it in.
And we've seen Rocco's numbers decline from the first couple of weeks where he was just having otherworldly numbers, but I think that is as much a credit to the other players who have stepped up more than Rocco's production going down. 2nd down play out to the far side. It is a screen play, and it's good for another Bishop Dwenger 1st down.
That one, Henry O'Keefe on that one. Just a quick screen out to the right, and the Saints have started out on 3 plays, got their 3 key receivers the ball already.
Yep, get everyone involved. Saints have a 1st down up to the 42-yard line. They'll come out, spread things out again this time. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side for Lytle in the shotgun. Here's a snap, rolls to the near side, looks to throw. Defense is coming in, tosses it across the middle, and it is just too high for Jack Titman, who is coming across the formation at midfield.
Yeah, trying to get a completion to the 4th receiver of the night, and Jack Titman running a drag route over the middle, but just a little too high for Jack on that one.
So 2nd and 10, the Saints have come out throwing. They have yet to run the ball. It has been all pass, pass, pass on this first drive. Scoreless first quarter here, 5:38 to go. As the Saints break huddle, again 2 receivers to the near side and 1 split out to the far side. Here's Lytle. Looks to throw yet again. This time has a wide open man, Jack Titman, who piles up across the defender down the far sideline, 40, inside the 30, down to the 24-yard line. Jack Titman laid down the wood.
Just a little out route from his attached tight end position, and he was uncovered. The Bruins had no one to cover him. He caught the ball on that 5-yard out route and then delivered a blow to the defensive cornerback and kept trucking all the way down to the 25.
Big pickup there for the Saints as they have a fresh set of downs. This time trips to the near side for Lytle. He's going to roll in that direction. Looks to throw. Fires it across the field, and it is too hot to handle for Henry O'Keefe at the sideline.
Yeah, a little corner route for Henry, and just a little bit too high and maybe too hard. And not a lot of touch on that one, and right through his hands. But the Saints have come out throwing like this is a 2-minute drill.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about to ask you, what do you make of this play calling thus far?
Well, obviously they think that they must have noticed on film that they could attack a deficiency in the Northrop defense. Must be the secondary, because they have come out ablazing in the pass game.
So 2nd and 10, Saints from the 25-yard line. Here's Lytle. Looks to throw yet again. Has some time. Now he's got some pressure from behind. Tries to spin out of it, but he will get thrown to the ground as Northrop gets back for the sack. That is Deshaun Jones.
Yeah, nicely done by the Northrop Bruins in getting some pressure. I don't think Brendan even had any idea it was coming until it was too late.
Well, we've seen Lytle spin out of those tackles so many times that we've almost become accustomed to it. We don't see him go down for a sack very often.
No, and that's a costly one. That costs some, in the area of 11 yards or so. 3rd and 21 is a little tougher spot to be in, but they've been throwing it all night, so I don't know why it would be any different.
Yep. They'll spread things out. 2 receivers to each side on 3rd and long. Lytle to throw. Tosses it down the sideline to a wheel route. K.J. Titman pulls it in and is hit right there at the 20-yard line. That's going to be a big pickup, but about 5 yards short of a first down.
K.J. out of the backfield, as you mentioned, Eric, on that wheel. And, going to bring up 3rd and about 5 here. I thought it was 3rd and 21 earlier, but it is. It should be 4th and 5, I believe.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, that throw put them back into Joe Belanda's field goal range.
But they're not going to do that.
They are not.
They are going.
4th and 5. The Saints need the 15-yard line for a first down. They'll spread things out yet again, and now we have a stoppage of play. The Saints will take a timeout. Jason Garrett wants to talk about it, so we will step aside after this 30-second break. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
At Story Point Fort Wayne, it's the little details that mean the most, like a simple smile as you pass through the hallway, or sitting down to dinner to find your steak cooked perfectly, like receiving a knock on your door to make sure you're attending an event, or residents coming together to watch the big game on TV. At Story Point Fort Wayne, we focus on the details to make sure each day for every resident is truly special. If you're thinking about senior living, call 1-855-40-STORY today to learn more about Story Point. That's 1-855-407-8679.
Welcome back to Shields Field. Since 1958, Bishop Luers High School has proclaimed the gospel and excelled at academics, sports, and performing arts. Join us as we thank God for over 60 years of Catholic education. Speaking of the Knights, you can listen to them over on the radio dial 106.3 as they take on the Snyder Panthers up at Spooler Stadium.
Just down the street.
That's right. But back here at Shields Field, it is a 4th and 5 play for the Saints. So we've seen both squads have a long drive that's gone into enemy territory. Northrop was unable to convert on the field goal. Let's see what Dwenger can do. Design quarterback run for Lytle. He's going to go through the middle, and it looks like he has just enough for a first down, but the ball came out.
The ball has come out.
It is Northrop football.
He was spinning, trying to get a little extra yardage to make sure he had passed that first down marker, and that ball came out, and the Northrop Bruins recover.
Well, it looked like he had the first down by a good yard before the ball came out.
Yeah, number 7, C.J. Davis, I believe, was the Northrop Bruin that jumped on that. Those jerseys with the orange numbers are tough to pick up occasionally of who's at the bottom of that pile for the Bruins, but nonetheless, nice job by the Bruin defense to stop that drive.
So the Saints come up empty on their first drive. We are still scoreless here in the first quarter as the Bruins take over on the 13-yard line of the Saints. Bates is going to take this one option, keep it himself, and this time goes nowhere. Host of Saints take him down after maybe a 1-yard gain.
It appears to me that it's almost the game plan of the Saints to cover Cowan and force Bates to carry the football. I'm sure they feel as if they have a much better chance of getting Bates down than they do Cowan.
Right. So that'll be a 2nd and 10. No gain on first down. Bruins come into this game averaging over 20 points a game. 28 last week against Northside in the victory. This time he's going to keep it himself again. Bates looking to throw, comes down to the near side. He's got pressure and just gets rid of the ball, chucks it out of bounds to avoid the sack.
Yeah, coverage was really good there by the Saints defensive secondary. They had both patterns matched up really well there. And Colin Vance was deep, and looked like Sam Pisa had coverage on the flat route. So great job in coverage by the Saints there.
Brings up a big 3rd and 10 for the Bruins. Again, they are back at the Bishop Dwenger 13-yard line. Trying to replicate the success they had in their first drive of the game. Trips to the near side for Bates. Cowan standing beside him in the backfield. Here's a snap. Bates looks to throw. He's going to step up in the pocket, but the pressure gets to him as the Saints tackle him back at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, they just don't want to get into 3rd and long passing situations do the Northrop Bruins. They are just not built for that. They're built to run the football, and the Saints did a great job of stuffing the run on the first down and then stopping the pass on 2nd down and forced them into that 3rd and long, and they just don't do very well in those situations. So now they're going to have to get a punt off from the back of the end zone, and that has not been easy for the Bruins this season either.
No. Credit John Michael Fabini with the sack. He's got 11.5 to lead the area. Here's a snap. They do get the punt away. High punt, but does not go very far down the field. It's going to bounce at about the 30 and then takes a Bishop Dwenger bounce. And the Saints are going to start this drive inside the red zone at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, they just continue with all kinds of trouble in the kicking game, do the Northrop Bruins.
Well, you said it there, Corey, about getting into a 3rd and long situation. We saw that first drive for Northrop. They were picking up 5, 6, 8 yards on first down and setting themselves up for success, and that was not the case there on that possession.
No question about it. And credit the Saints defense for getting that early stop on first down and forcing them into long yardage.
1st and 10 Saints. They'll mark the ball at the 16-yard line as Lytle stands in the pistol. Could we see the first run of the game? And we do. This one straight through the middle. Gavin Groves carrying the pile forward inside the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Well, with a little outside trap play there, and Gavin did a really nice job of not going down on first contact.
Yeah.
He carried a tackler or two all the way down to the 5. Going to be 1st and goal from there.
And doing what we've often seen Devin Tittman do, just so good at keeping those legs churning and falling forward to continue to pick up yardage as he went down.
And credit running back coach Todd Hartzog for teaching that and instilling that in his players.
So it's going to be a 1st and goal from the 5 for the Saints. Groves is back in the backfield. He's going to get the carry again, this time inside the 5, and pile drives into the end zone for a Saints touchdown.
Yeah, just straight up the gut and really wasn't going to be denied there. Did a nice job of forcing his way into the end zone.
So touchdown for the Saints at 1:37 to go in the first quarter. Bishop Dwenger on top 6-0 and setting up for the PAT.
Yeah, if you're the Northrop Bruins, you just simply can't give the Saints a short yardage situation, a short field, and that was all set up by the Saints defense and then special teams.
Here is Belanda, boots this one up and through the uprights, and the Saints are on top 7-0 here in the late first quarter. We'll step aside. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Hey guys, I can't play breaks right now, if you can continue talking.
And we're going to keep it right here at Shields Field as the Saints are up 7-0. So, Corey, we saw the Saints, something we've seen the last couple of weeks, the Saints have gotten off to somewhat slow starts. Against Lures, it was only 14-6 at halftime. Last week, they trailed Snyder for about half the game in the 2nd and 3rd quarter. We see them go up here first to get up to a 7-0 lead, but as you look at the Saints start like that, you can kind of see both sides of the coin. On one hand, you like that they're able to overcome early adversity, but on the other hand, you have to be a little bit concerned by these slow starts.
Yeah, I think so, although I will tell you, since Homestead's pretty much wrapped up the conference, the motivation it's sometimes difficult to muster late in the season like this when the playoffs are looming. And you're taking next week off for a bye week. Tough sometimes to get motivated when you're not playing for the victory bell and you're just playing a regular season game. But, I don't want to make excuses.
Right. Well, and this is also senior night at Shields Field, so hopefully there's some extra motivation there.
Well, that's a good point, too. Very good point that you'd like to go out in your last regular season game properly.
Yep, there you go. Belanda kicks this one away. It's going to be fielded back in the end zone for a touchback.
Great kick by Joe Belanda. That's a big-time weapon when you can kick that ball into the end zone for a touchback and make your opponent start at the 20. That's a great weapon for the Saints.
Yep, Garrett comes all the way almost out to the hash marks to give a high five to Belanda after that kick.
Clearly winning the special teams battle thus far are the Saints.
As has been the case for much of the season. So we're going to see the Bruins on offense again. They like that formation with the trips to the far side of the field for Bates as he comes out in the shotgun yet again. Calling out some signals to his receivers. And here's a snap. Bates looks to throw. He's got some pressure, tries to escape, and he is not going to get away as 3 or 4 different sacks converge on the play. Owen Levi was in there. A couple others as well.
Yeah, just don't really understand. beyond the 10-yard line out in front making that block, a key block to get Mr. Tittman into the end zone. Great job out of the center getting out there on the lead block.
Yeah, you love to see those guys down in the trenches get some credit making plays, especially down the field like that. They don't get a chance to do that very often. And that time, it made all the difference for KJ, who put a little nifty move on a defender near the sideline as well. So with just 9 seconds left in the first quarter, the Saints score again. Here is the kick for Belanda. He gets it through after a low hold, a low snap, and that one is good. So 14-0 is your score. The Saints go up on the Northrop Bruins here late in the first quarter. So
we can do breaks now if you need.
Strong start for the Saints, and we will step aside here at Shields Field. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
I love this house.
Me too, but our closets are too small.
Welcome back to Shields Field. 9 seconds left in the opening quarter. The Saints on top of the Bruins 14-0 as KJ Tittman just took that screen pass in for 6. And now Belanda set to kick things away for the Saints. This one a high kick, not quite as deep. It's going to be fielded at the 8-yard line. And here come the Bruins, a big hole for Cowan down the near sideline, 45-50, inside the 40, makes a cutback and falls right there. He is down inside Bishop Dwenger territory at the 35-yard line, and that is some speed.
Yep, that is electric, and he just showed us this evening why he comes in as the area's leading rusher. He is just dangerous. He didn't need much space to get through that Dwenger kickoff team, and he just took it and burst through there, and I thought he was going to take it to the house, but he slipped down around the 35, or else I think he would have.
Huge play there for Cowan, and yeah, as you said, Corey, we see what makes him so dangerous. That is why this Northrop team wants to get the ball in his hands as much as they can.
Yeah, that's kind of why I can't believe that they went to more of a passing attack on the last series down there. Start feeding 34 if you're the Bruins.
He had some success on the ground that first drive. This time they do give it to him. He's going to take this around the edge inside the 30 and spinning his way, falling backwards inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Yeah. Gain of 12 and a first down to end the first quarter.
Yeah, even when he appears to be stopped in the backfield, he's still good enough to make a play out of it. So they've got to keep feeding him. One
little stutter step, and then around the edge he went as he picked up a first down. So, as we said, that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Your score, Bishop Dwenger 14 and Northrop 0. Be back after 1 minute here on RedeemerRadio.com.
Bigger than any box score, local sports are a victory for the entire community. Building up leaders, breaking down barriers, connecting generations, teaching integrity, blazing a trail, sparking our economy. That's why Meijer sponsors hundreds of local sports teams throughout the Midwest. From Little League to the big leagues, uniforms to stadiums, Meijer knows when we support the home team, we all win.
Have you ever been in a situation where your faith is challenged or questioned, but you knew what to say because of something you heard on Redeemer Radio? All of us are still learning more about the richness of our faith, and Redeemer is helping people do that. If you believe in helping others to explain our faith, or have been able to do so yourself, consider investing in Redeemer Radio.
Welcome back to Shields Field, beginning of the second quarter, and the Bruins are on the move after a big play there, big kickoff return for Demarius Cowan, and then another first down run sets them up at the 22-yard line. Two receivers to the far side. This is going to be another option. Bates will keep it himself and picks up not much there, just back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Yeah, when they run that speed option, the outside linebacker for the Saints, in this case, John Michael Fabini, is going right to Cowan, which is forcing the quarterback there to keep it. And Keon Bates is not quite as elusive as Cowan, and a little easier for the Saints to bring down in the middle.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Bruins. Again, spreading things out with two receivers to each side. Cowan beside Bates in the backfield. Bates awaiting the snap, and here it is, looking to throw again. He's going to have to duck inside, tries to get rid of the football, but I think they're going to whistle this one dead. And finally falling to the ground, Sam Pisa was back there applying pressure. And I'm not sure who they eventually give credit to the sack when there's about 5 people on top of him.
Yeah, no kidding. That's probably where those half sacks come into play. Give a half sack to everybody back there. But nonetheless, I've got a, once again, question on 2nd and 10, why you aren't giving the ball to Cowan. Run the football, Bruins.
Well, if nothing else, it sets you up for a shorter 3rd down instead of a 3rd and 16. I'm with you, Corey. Cowan got you here with the kickoff return and then a 12-yard run on 1st down. And since then, he hasn't touched the ball.
Best running back in the city. Feed him.
They're going to fake it to him and then throw a bubble screen, and he will be lit up at the 31-yard line.
Outstanding job there by Adam Lee on the tackle of C.J. Davis on that quick slip screen out to the left side, and picked up very little yardage, did the Bruins on that play. Adam Lee has really developed over the course of this season. Last couple of games, he has played every bit as good as Callan Stauffer, and Stauffer has just been a star in the secondary.
Yep, that unit, particularly for the Saints, came in as maybe the biggest question mark this season, and now they've come in as one of the biggest strengths. 4th down, and flying from the edge comes the Saints, and Bates has to try to get rid of the football. He does, and it's fumbled backwards. A lateral picked up by the Saints down the far sideline. It is Pisa to the 20-15-10. Is he going to get to the end zone? He will. Touchdown, Saints.
Scoop and score by Sam Pisa.
Oh.
And I don't blame Keon Bates in the backfield there for trying to toss the ball to Cowan to make something happen. It's 4th down for crying out loud anyway, but they were not able to connect on that little pitch backwards to avoid the sack. And Sam Pisa, great run as well, because Cowan tracked him down and had the angle on him, and Sam made a really nice cut to get to the end zone. So great job by the Saints defense, in particular Sam Pisa on the run back.
That one got the crowd on its feet and the sideline going berserk. Saints with a huge defensive play on 4th down, and I'm not sure what the most incredible part of that play was. If it was the hit on the quarterback, or the crazy way the ball was bouncing around back there, or, as you said, Pisa taking it off down the sideline, making a cut back.
Sam's going to get all the credit on him. Palanda good on the extra point, but I didn't catch the number of who made the hit to dislodge the ball. So unfortunately, that defender is going to go anonymous here. But Sam will get the credit and take it probably.
Well, it looked like another group effort there as the Saints converge. You know, we've seen all season long the Saints have success with that pressure coming off the edge.
Update.
And that time it was good not only for a sack but for 6 points. Let's send it down to Nick Gray on the sideline, who's got some updates on scores from around the area. Nick, what do you have for us?
Yeah, guys, Bishop Luers is playing Snyder over at Spooler Stadium. Right now, Snyder Panthers are leading that one 7-6.
Okay.
Carroll's up on Wayne 21-0. Northside's beating Concordia 7-0. Homestead's at Southside, and right now Homestead's leading 7-0 at the end of the 1st quarter. Leo's beating DeKalb 13-0. And Eastside's up on Angola 14-0.
Wow.
Back up to you.
All right.
Thanks, Nick.
Hey, keep an eye on that Homestead score.
Yeah.
We understand their entire offensive line could be out due to COVID contact tracing. So that game could prove interesting before it's over with.
Yeah, so coming into this game, this last week of the season, week 9, Homestead just needed a victory against South to wrap up the victory bell for the second straight year. But if they lose and the Saints beat Northrop, the Saints would be SAC champs. So not a lot of people would have picked the Archers in that game, but you know, this COVID pandemic has done some crazy things. And when you have some men down, crazy things can happen. Just ask Northrop. They beat Homestead in a very similar situation in week 1. Here's the kickoff. It is mishandled, and that ball is still loose. It is just covered up there at the 35-yard line.
Bruins finally able to get on it. That's number 15, Marion Collins, able to jump on it in the middle of the field, right around the 30-yard line.
So the Bruins get the ball again, 1st and 10, and we would certainly hope that Demarius Cowan is involved in this possession.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, he's got 6 carries is all thus far, and he comes in with 26 a game. So they're going to have to pick up the pace if they want him to get his normal average.
1st and 10. Here's Cowan through the middle. Following blockers, good for a gain of about 3 yards.
You know, even when he doesn't look like he has any daylight, he's able to create a little bit. The Saints did a good job in the middle there of stacking it up, but Cowan's able to pick up 3 anyway.
You know, the other problem with not giving Cowan the ball early in the possession is now here we are, second quarter, and the Saints are up 21-0.
Yep.
And if you have to play catch up and start throwing the ball, that again takes the ball out of your best player's hands. So 2nd and 7 after the gain of 3 for Cowan. They're going to set up with trips to the far side for Bates in the shotgun. Here's a snap option. This time does pitch it out to Cowan. Makes a nifty move, makes a man miss, and all that just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Really nice job by 31 Cole Carey in there at outside linebacker right now, forcing Cowan back into the middle of the Saints defense where all his teammates were able to bring him down.
That's one of those plays that will not show up on a stat sheet because, of course, Carey didn't make the tackle, but he, as you said, drove him back in and limited the gain. And it'll be 3rd and 7 for the Bruins. Bates in the shotgun, 2 receivers to each side. Need to get to the 41-yard line for a first down. Here's a snap. Bates looks to throw, fires it to the sideline, got a man open. He cuts inside, and driving for the first down marker, he is stopped very close, so it'll depend on the spot.
Couldn't tell. Picked up the number way on the far sideline. Jaden Schmink, maybe? Number 12? Number 13, maybe. Jaden Billingsley, actually, on the reception there, and looks like they're going to move the chains.
Okay. No measurement needed. They'll give him the first down. And if nothing else, for Northrop, just to convert and elongate this drive and keep the ball out of the hands of the Saints offense is big.
No question. They want to run the clock.
Here is first down. Handoff to Cowan. Stutter step. Cole Carey is not juked out of his shoes and comes down to make the tackle at the line.
John Michael Fabini in there, and also 42 Mitchell Vogelweed in there on the tackle as well, and do a nice job of corralling Cowan there.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 Bruins. Saints on top 21-0 in this second quarter. Two receivers to each side again. Bates looking at his wrist for the play call. Again, Keon Bates, just a sophomore. This time he is going to keep it himself, and he goes nowhere. Blown up in the backfield as, again, Corey, this is tough when you have so many Saints converge at the same time.
Yeah, we had 70 Owen Levy and 75 Ashton Scary both in on that tackle. Looked like they were trying to run a quarterback draw, it appeared. But very unsuccessful. I'm going to bring up 3rd and about 15.
Ashton Scary doing his best to make a name for himself, and he's got quite a name. I'll tell you that much.
Fits right in with the Halloween theme.
Yeah.
Boo is right, yeah.
3rd and 15 for the Bruins. Bates looking to throw. Fires this one down the sideline. Good looking pass, and it nearly is brought in. But double coverage there by the Saints. It's Vance and Stauffer preventing that completion.
Yeah, just kind of lofted it down the middle, hoping number 81 for the Bruins. That's Dominic Galvin downfield trying to pull it in, but you mentioned it, Eric. Great coverage by the Saints.
So 4th and 15, a punting situation for the Bruins. We've seen one that went just about nowhere and then another one a little more successful. Here is the punt. This one's their best punt of the day. Back to the 34-yard line, and O'Keefe breaks one tackle, sidesteps another, and is able to move the pile up to the 46-yard line. Nice return for the Saints.
Yeah, great job by the Saints return unit there, getting the ball almost out to midfield.
So the offense back out onto the field, led by Brendan Lytle here on senior night. A lot of seniors for the Saints to celebrate tonight. A lot of big players who have been a part of multiple seasons of varsity football here.
22 of them, 22 seniors on the roster this year for the Saints.
Lytle looking at the sideline for the play call as they set up with 3 wide receivers to the near side. And a last-minute addition, and they're going to have to call a timeout because of some personnel issues. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Hi, this is Cindy Black, Executive Director of Redeemer Radio. Our Tune In for All In COVID-friendly fundraiser is wrapping up this week, but we still need your help to meet our budgeted goal. But good news, our dollar for dollar match is being extended. This means when you donate today, any amount will be doubled. Call the studio today, 260-436-9598, or go to RedeemerRadio.com. Double your impact with Redeemer Radio.
Locally and family owned for 35 years, Tim Didier Meats has built a reputation for fresh, custom meat orders. If you'd like that special cut of beef for your next gathering, Tim Didier Meats can help. Prime rib, filet mignon, and Tim's own special ground beef, made fresh daily, can be ordered within an hour's notice. To place your order, call 260-482-8400 or find them on the web at timdidiermeats.com. Be 1st and 10 for the Saints after the punt. Trips to the near side for Lytle. Now KJ Tittman rolls out in that direction as well. They'll pass it out to him and bit off target. It's going to fall incomplete.
Nearly a lateral, quite frankly.
Very close.
Our vantage point up here in the box is not too far away from the line that ball was thrown on, and I think that could have went nearly either way.
Well, they call it incomplete.
They're talking about it right now, though.
They might change it.
They are. They're moving it back.
Yeah.
I thought that it looked awfully close to a lateral, and that's going to set the Saints back 5 or 6.
Yep, they'll put it back on the 41 because, of course, if you throw the ball backwards, it is a live ball, and the Saints take over wherever that ball goes out of bounds, and they marked that at the 41-yard line.
Quite frankly, they're lucky it went out of bounds.
Yeah. Could have been picked up and run back the other way. Instead, it'll go as a fumble, a loss of 6. And here is Lytle looking to throw. He's going to step up in the pocket to the near side, looks to throw, runs out of space, comes back across the field, and had a wide open Henry O'Keefe, and he dropped the ball.
You know, his ability to extend the play and allow his receivers to come open, I oftentimes think that maybe their best play is the scramble drill, where they just break off their routes and start to either receivers normally are taught in a scramble drill that if they see their quarterback in peril, the ones that are short will go deep, the ones that are deep they'll go short, and you'll cross the field if you need to come back to your quarterback. And obviously something the Saints have drilled because Brendan does a great job of extending plays.
Here is a 3rd and long for Lytle. Looks to throw, has to get rid of the ball across the middle and nearly intercepted. Again looking for O'Keefe, and that one went right into the breadbasket for number 21, Braden Mudrack.
Yeah, Mudrack had that ball in his sights, quite frankly, should have intercepted it.
Yeah.
But the Saints got away with it, and but will be forced to punt here on 4th and 15.
Well, if there's one part of Lytle's game you'd like to shore up going into the postseason, we saw that turnover bug creep up a little bit last week. Only one interception heading into last week and then 2 against the Panthers. Here's a nice-looking kick by Simon Garrett all the way back inside the 30, and the defense drives him back even further before he is hit and dropped at about the 21-yard line.
Looked like number 2, Darius Sanders, and he was going the wrong way from the get-go. I think he thought he could outrun the Saints outside and just kept giving up ground and lost another 5 from where he caught it.
Ben Simcox delivering the final blow, and Northrop's going to be backed up all the way at their own 20-yard line. So 5:24 to go until the half. Saints on top 21-0. It is a 3-score lead, but it's still early enough in the game that I expect Cowan to still be a major component of this Bruin offense. He's going to get the carry this time, looking for a hole and finding none, and then taken down in the back.
It's a defense. Colin Vance from his free safety spot is up there making the play in the backfield. So clearly the Saints have brought the safeties up into the box in the run game here to help defend Cowan, and it's been successful on that play for sure.
Well, it's a strategy that a lot of teams employ to try to stop their best player, but still with limited success as you just look to that young man and how electric he is in the backfield. 2nd and long. Bates looks to throw this time down the sideline. One-on-one coverage, and it looks like it's caught it. Yes, hauled in near midfield.
And that's the only way that you're going to get the safeties out of the box in the run game is to be able to complete some passes over the top. And that's what the Northrop Bruins do right there. I think number 12, Jaden Schmenk, on the catch over there, a sophomore, 5'11", 165 sophomore, makes a really nice catch down the sideline.
Well, you might be seeing that Bates to Schmenk connection for a couple more years if you're a Northrop fan. 1st and 10. And Cowan this time drives forward, good for a gain of 4 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, a little bit surprised he didn't pick up more yardage. Appeared to be a very big hole there, but the Saints closed it down in a hurry.
Yeah. Boy, we go back to that pass play, Corey, and down the sideline. He had single coverage, and that's one of those 50-50 balls that we've seen the Saints come out on the right end of more often than not.
Yeah, that doesn't happen very often, and as I mentioned, the only way to get them out of that safety in the box situation to be able to run the ball is to complete some passes down the field, and they finally did that.
Got to keep the defense honest. And they're going to be blowing this play dead. We'll see what the situation is. Looks like a Saints player has to come to the sideline. It's Owen Levy. Not sure if it's an equipment issue. He'll step out, and the Saints will have to make a substitution.
Vinny Fiacable all too happy to come in and take his place.
2nd and 6. 2 receivers to the near side and 1 to the far side for Bates. Here's a snap looking to throw. Tosses it down. Dangerous pass. Is it picked off? It looks like it is, and yes. Interception there. Looks like Callan Stauffer. Nope, not Callan Stauffer.
They're wrestling on the ground, the Saints and the Bruins, for the ball. And trying to pick up the number of the Saint.
Gavin Groves.
31, Cole Carey.
Oh, it is.
Cole Carey on the catch. The interception, an outstanding play by 31.
Wow.
Getting an opportunity to play a little defense tonight with the starting unit and showing that he can handle it.
He just jumped right into the passing lane, got his paws on it, and then out-wrestled the receiver. You know, they always give the tie to the offense. Yeah. So the referees must have seen something that told them that Carey had a majority of the possession there. So the Saints take over at their own 48-yard line. They'll go trips to the near side. Lytle looks to throw, fires it across the middle. Sam Campbell makes the catch and curls his way for a gain of 6 yards on 1st down.
Sam's averaging about 5 yards a catch on the season and picked up 6 there.
Campbell's one of those players, though. He's normally, as you said, part of those short patterns, but every now and then he can burn you deep.
Well, he's got speed. There's no question. You're just waiting for him to break one tackle and take it to the house.
I'd say outside of Henry O'Keefe, he has shown the most speed on the Bishop Dwenger offense. So they'll set up shop at the 47-yard line of the Bruins. 2nd and 6. Lytle calling out. Signals to his offense. Now is going to take the snap. Inside handoff to Louis Tittman. He's got a big hole inside the 40 down to the 30-yard line as Louis Tittman gets a rare carry and makes the most of it.
Well, quite honestly, as much as the Saints have thrown the football tonight, you were just sort of waiting on a big run because they have softened up that Northrop defense with their pass game enough that the run was pretty easy.
1st and 10 Saints at the 30-yard line as we tick down to 2:48 to go until the halftime break. Lytle's going to take the snap, fakes a handoff, fires it to the sideline, and it is low. O'Keefe has to go down onto the turf to get it. Does make the catch, but unable to make any other moves.
Yep, Brendan had a seam route there as well, but it was covered, so he checked it down to O'Keefe for 5, and now they're into their no huddle situation here to try to move a little quicker.
2nd and 6, and there's some early movement. Looks like they caught the Bruins off guard.
Going to pick up 5. Going to be 2nd and 1.
Lytle coming over to the sideline to get the signals. You know, we often see teams go into the 2-minute drill in non-2-minute drill situations. Is that more or less just to get them experience with that type of offense and being in the hurry-up mode?
I think that's twofold. I think that's one. I think the other thing is sometimes it gets your offense into more of a rhythm.
Yeah.
Sometimes that 2-minute drill, if you haven't had any rhythm, will help you get into some.
So here's a 2nd and 1 play. Lytle rolls out to his right, fires this one into the end zone. Sioka is there, but it is just too far.
Just out of the outstretched arms of Rocco Sioka in the far corner of the end zone, and that'll stop the clock. And 3rd and 1 coming up with 1:51 left in the half.
Yep, still plenty of time for the Saints to try to add to their lead. They lead 21-0 with 1:51 to go until halftime. 3rd and 1, Louis Tittman is there in the backfield, single back formation with trips to the near side. And Lytle is just going to keep it himself. It looked like he had it easy early and then almost got pulled backwards by the shoestrings before stepping across for a 1st down.
He did. It looked like maybe 8. Devon Godsey on the tackle there for the Bruin defense, but nonetheless, Brendan was able to pick up that 1st down, but the clock's running. Plenty of time, 1:40.
Yep. You know, we haven't seen, I don't think Devin Tittman has touched the ball yet tonight. Maybe giving him the night off, resting up for the postseason run.
Offensively.
Yep. Now he's going to toss it again to the end zone. Sioka jump ball, and he's got it. Waiting for the official. Yes, there it is. Touchdown Saints as Sioka went up and brought down a beautifully thrown ball from Brendan Lytle.
You know, the 6'4" Sioka has a lot of height on the 5'9" corner Darius Sanders of the Northrop Bruins. I won't do the math on that number of inches, but
7.
Okay, thank you. But nonetheless, he has some height advantage there, and they took advantage of it. Did the Saints?
So Sioka pulls in his 1st touchdown of the evening, and Belanda trying to make this a 28-0 game late in the 2nd quarter. Vance on the hold. Belanda's kick is true, and your score with 1:21 to go, 28-0, Saints on top of the Bruins. We'll step aside. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
The unpredictable Midwest weather can be tamed thanks to Current Mechanical. Call Current Mechanical for all your commercial, industrial, and institutional needs for heating and air conditioning. Current Mechanical will custom design a solution just for you. Current Mechanical, delivering value, quality, and performance. Current Mechanical is a proud sponsor of Redeemer Radio Sports. Call 420-8138 or visit us on the web at currenthvac.net.
Welcome back to Shields Field. Did you know that Notre Dame Federal Credit Union is the largest Catholic credit union in the United States? Notre Dame FCU has served over 800 Catholic entities in over 25 dioceses nationwide. These include colleges, parishes, schools, food pantries, homeless shelters, and Catholic radio stations, including Redeemer Radio. Member-owned, not-for-profit banking is the way to go. You already share our values, why not share in our benefits? That's Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. Saints on top 28-0 after that touchdown connection from Brendan Lytle to Rocco Sioka. And Belanda is set to kick things away for the Saints. Last time he did so, Demarius Cowan took it back about 70 yards. And this one's going to be a squib kick as expected. Bouncing and caught there at the 30-yard line and no return as the Saints are there for the coverage. Looks like
Adam Dunford.
Yeah, number 15 on the tackle.
Great job by Adam down there most quickly from the kickoff unit for the Saints. And you're exactly right, Eric. They learned very quickly they didn't want to kick it to Mr. Cowan again. So a little squib kick there, and particularly with only 1:18 left in the half, that's a really, really good strategic play by the Saints.
So the Bruins are going to come out, and they will have to be in a 2-minute drill here if they hope to try to have a chance to put some points on the board. They're going to put 3 receivers out to the far side of the field, 1 to the near. Cowan is back there with Bates. Bates is going to hand it to Cowan. And a strong run, but he hits the line and gets about nowhere.
Yeah, just nothing doing in the middle of that Dwenger Saints defense. Looked like, again, 42 in there in the middle, and that is Mitchell Vogelweed. Did a nice job at middle linebacker. And you're right. We see some jersey numbers in there we haven't seen a lot so far this season, and good for those guys getting an opportunity to contribute on a Friday night.
Yeah, especially those seniors as they get their final regular season game here at Shields Field. Bruins are in no hurry as they hand this one off to Cowan again, and Vinny Fiacable, the first one to corral him and pull him backwards. And it looks like the Saints are going to call a timeout with 32 seconds left, trying to conserve the clock and get one more crack at it.
They only have 1 timeout, so I'm not sure how effective that will be unless the Bruins decide to put it in the air here and stop it themselves. But and we've seen that happen before a time or two this season.
You wouldn't anticipate it, but,
no, but
nothing is outside the realm of reason here. Yeah, you know, it's been interesting with Cowan this year. It's really been feast or famine. In those games where they've won, he has been well over 200 yards, 257 last week against Northside. And in the losses, I mean, he's had a couple games where he's been held in the 70s. He only had 71 against Snyder and then 76 against Concordia. So, you know, the Bruins go as Cowan goes. And the Saints have done a pretty good job bottling him up tonight. But as we've said, not a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, he hasn't found a lot of yardage thus far, and in that Saints defense.
It's going to be 3rd and 10 after the timeout for the Bruins. And they'll place the ball. Bates is just going to hand it off to Cowan as expected, and he'll spin forward to the 34-yard line. And that will take us to the end of the first half. Saints cannot stop the clock again. And the teams will start walking back to their sidelines for our halftime break. Your score after 2 quarters of play, Bishop Dwenger 28 and Northrop 0. We'll be back after this 2-minute break for our halftime show. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
At
At Story Point Fort Wayne, it's the little details that mean the most, like a simple smile as you pass through the hallway, or sitting down to dinner to find your steak cooked perfectly, like receiving a knock on your door to make sure you're attending an event, or residents coming together to watch the big game on TV. At Story Point Fort Wayne, we focus on the details to make sure each day for every resident is truly special. If you're thinking about senior living, call 1-855-40-STORY today to learn more about Story Point. That's 1-855-407-867.
Is a financial advisor who understands your Christian values important to you? Reinbold and Anderson, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, offers financial planning that respects Christian principles. Call Reinbold and Anderson at 260-432-3235. Offices at 5750 Coventry Lane, Suite 110, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Ameriprise Financial provides financial services without regard to religious affiliation or cultural background. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor.
Welcome.
Think of Briscoe Dentistry for your family's dental care. Dr. Todd Briscoe and team know that your body is more than just...
Do you want on after this one?
Your oral health affects the performance ability of your entire body. And on the field or court, you want your body to perform at its best. So trust Dr. Briscoe and team to provide the ultimate in preventative, periodontal, orthodontic, restorative, and cosmetic dentistry. To optimize your body's performance, contact Dr. Briscoe at 260-486-9950 or on the web at briscoedentistry.com.
Back at Shields Field for halftime, and tonight's halftime sponsor, Shawnee Construction and Engineering, a full-service construction firm that meets and exceeds expectations. With a 94% repeat and referral business, when we say partnering for a lifetime, we mean it. With that, we welcome you to our broadcast booth. 28-0 is your halftime score. Saints on top of the Bruins. And we've seen a Bishop Dwenger team tonight that really has outmatched their opponents across the board. And, we've seen a lot of different areas excel tonight. Special teams early on, the offense got going, and after that first drive that Northrop had deep into Saints territory, the defense has played exceptionally well as well.
No doubt about it, and the offense, quite frankly, hasn't started, I don't think, in their own territory, but maybe one time, if that, tonight.
And that was about the 45.
So they have been served a really nice helping of good field position all night long from both the defense and the special teams units.
Yep, we've seen that defense come up big. We talked about those slow starts the last 2 weeks, and after that first drive, they put the clamps on Northrop. We talked about the Bruins having to take advantage of every single scoring opportunity they get if they want a chance in this one. And the miscue early on, the field goal that never was, and the Saints really never looked back after that.
They put a really good drive together to start the football game, quite frankly. And if they could have, the play calling on that was really good. They did a nice job of mixing it up, did a nice job of getting the quarterback involved in the run game as well as Cowan. And but unfortunately, and not been able to string another drive like it together thus far. They've really, that first drive was the only one that even threatened the Saints, quite honestly.
Well, and ever since that first drive, you and I have been scratching our heads a bit at young Mr. Cowan not getting an opportunity to touch the football nearly as much as we would like to see. I mean, we're sitting up here, we're football fans. We'd like to see the best players touch the ball.
Well, no question about it. And I think he's going to end up with probably about his average carries in the first half. We'll see what Mr. Stats Thompson has to tell us about that. But I just think that, the play calling was a little bit curious at times, to say the least. It's a team that averages almost 250 yards a game on the ground, and they came out throwing in a couple series there. Maybe they thought they could catch the Saints off guard. I don't know, but when you average about 75 yards a game in the passing game, you don't normally want to lead your drive off with that.
Absolutely. So the Saints on top, 28-0. We've seen Brendan Lytle. He's played pretty well for the most part. He had a couple throws. That one that was almost picked, a couple drops by the receivers, a couple balls that were overthrown, but he's getting everyone involved. And I think that's one of the main things, one of the main goals they came into the game with. As you prep for the postseason run, you want everyone touching the ball, everyone ready to contribute when they're called upon.
Well, it's been interesting what they've done offensively. They came out firing in the passing game and getting, in 4 consecutive plays, they tried to get 4 different receivers touches. That was the first series, and then the second or third series, they threw 2 or 3 screens in a row. It almost appeared to me like Coach Brody Dixon, the offensive coordinator, was going down his call sheet saying, well, let's work on our screen game a little bit here. Now let's work on our downfield passing game. So they were getting a lot of different facets of the offense involved there, and as you said, Eric, probably tuning up a bit in anticipation of the playoff run.
All right, let's go ahead and send it over to Kevin Thompson for some first half stats and dive into the numbers a bit. Kevin?
Yeah, as you guys were saying, the rushing yards, Northrop was 14 carries for 38 yards for Cowan, and then Bates actually threw the ball 10 times with only 3 completions for 40 yards. So they really went away from the run, as you said, and not really using Cowan as they should. But on Dwenger's side, the rushing game on our side is not much better. We went 7 carries for 25 yards, but we aired it out tonight, and Lytle is 9 of 15 for 130 yards in the air. So a little bit of a switch tonight. One thing that stood out at me, the score's 28-0, but the first downs is 8 first downs for Dwenger and 7 for Northrop.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was interesting that it was that close on the first down side. But Sioka came back tonight, 3 receptions for 42 yards, so he had the main good reception in the corner for the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And the Saints have held Northrop to just 74 total yards in the first half.
Wow. And they had over half of that in that first drive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is interesting with the first downs. That's what you get when you have a Saints offense that's gifted short fields, that's had big plays where they haven't had to pick up first downs. They pick them all in one big chunk. And then, of course, we can't leave out the defense getting involved in the scoring as well with Sam Pisa.
That's right. What a great run back on the scoop and score.
Yep, it's anytime you can see that. It wasn't quite to the level of Vinny Fiacables, but it's up there. The bar has been set high. Let's just put it that way.
I was just going to say, Vinny has been involved in every facet of the stat sheet this year, so attaboy, Vinny.
All right, we'll step aside, be back with some score updates from around the area. You're listening to our halftime presentation here on RedeemerRadio.com.
At Story Point Fort Wayne, it's the little details that mean the most, like a simple smile as you pass through the hallway, or sitting down to dinner to find your steak cooked perfectly, like receiving a knock on your door to make sure you're attending an event, or residents coming together to watch the big game on TV. At Story Point Fort Wayne, we focus on the details to make sure each day for every resident is truly special. If you're thinking about senior living, call 1-855-40-STORY today to learn more about Story Point. That's 1-855-407-8679.
How do we join a new group? Typically, we receive and accept an invitation to belong. Second, there is recognition of shared values or belief. Finally, we modify our
this is
actions
the 2-minute
to
spot.
align with the group.
That's right.
Or behave. Belong, believe, behave. For someone newly approaching faith communities, it can feel like this order is mixed up. It may feel that I have to believe or behave a certain way before I can belong. Even worse, I may see hypocrisy in how those who belong and claim to believe actually behave and be driven away. The beauty is that Jesus invites all. He famously derided the rich and powerful, instead seeking out and inviting the outcasts, the materially and spiritually poor. And the church he founded is meant to be a hospital for the broken, not a museum for the perfect, including the hypocrites. And all, including you, are welcome. Let's listen today to a couple of these invitations. The Spirit and the bride say, "Come." And let him who hears say, "Come." And let him who is thirsty come. Let him who desires take the water of life without price. Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew says, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Let's pray. Jesus, our light, you say, come. Help us accept this free invitation. May we all know that we belong in your love. Amen. This is Mike Kelly with Pray for Two. Listen to them anytime at prayfor2.com or on the Redeemer Radio app.
Welcome back to Shields Field. 28-0 is your halftime score. Just heard Mike Kelly on that promo, and he is down on the sideline doing our social media as always, so be sure to check us out on Twitter for all the highlights. Speaking of the sideline, we're going to send it down there right now and check in with Nick Gray as he shares some scores from around the area. Nick.
Yeah, welcome back down to the sidelines. Mike Kelly's actually here enjoying a hot dog. It's
all right.
A great night for football, guys. Really enjoying the game and the atmosphere here as well. So around the area, though, Snyder's beaten Bishop Luers 14-6 over at Spooler Stadium. Carroll's up on Wayne 28-6. Northside's leading Concordia 7-0. Homestead, who we're keeping an eye on tonight, had some illness issues, but they seem to have their act together. They're beating Southside right now 24-0. Leo's up on DeKalb 21-0. Huntington, New Haven are tied 7-7. East Noble's beating Belmont 21-0. Columbia City's over at leading that matchup 21-0. And then Fairfield's beating Cherubusco 12-0. And then the other great game around the area is Eastside's up on Angola 28-7 the last time I saw. So
fantastic.
That guys, we'll send it.
All right, thanks, Nick. Corey, you want the floor to talk about your Blazers?
Hey, they're Stats Thompson's Blazers too.
There you go.
Yeah, we're excited about them. Now, they hope to see the Bishop Luers Knights in the sectional final a few weeks down the road. They've got to get there first, both teams. But yeah, she could make for quite a sectional final down at Luers Field in about 3 weeks' time.
Well, let's talk about that sectional a bit. We have the Bishop Luers Knights, who next week will be not only our game of the week on the radio, but on the broadcast stream as well. Because, of course, when you have the tournament, Class 5A and 6A have the first round off. So Bishop Dwenger, these Saints are going to get a week off next week, a bye week, as the postseason begins. And the Bishop Luers Knights will open up their postseason at home against Whitco. So that game will be heard next week on our radio dial and our internet stream. And we look forward to bringing that game to you here on Redeemer Radio. Now, of course, you mentioned there on the other side of the bracket, East Side. Both teams that have to take care of business. East Side's got a one-loss Bluffton, I believe, in the first round.
I was going to say, it's no easy first-round game. They've got to travel down to Bluffton, and Bluffton playing some good football. So, it's a tough road in that first round for the Blazers.
And the Bishop Luers Knights, if they take care of business against Whitco, they would likely have to go to Fairfield, and I believe they are going for an undefeated season right now.
They are the big school conference champs of the NECC, are the Fairfield Falcons. Kind of out of nowhere, quite honestly.
Yeah.
They have had a great season, and that will not be an easy second-round game for the Luers Knights.
Yeah, that sectional is surprisingly competitive. A lot of teams, I'd say half the teams in there can say they legitimately have a shot at winning that sectional.
Yeah, Bluffton's near the top of the ACAC, and you've got the Blazers, the small school NECC conference champs, and the Fairfield Falcons, the large school NECC conference champs. So you've got, and then you add the Luers Knights in there. That is probably one of the better 2A sectionals in the state.
Well, and as is the case for Luers year in and year out, they're battle tested. They play schedules that none of these other schools play. And, if Luers had played those schedules, they might very well have the same records because they've got a lot of playmakers on their squad. And let's be honest, Corey, the playmakers on the Luers squad, these teams in the sectional have not seen players like that in most of their regular season games.
The Luers Knights are a much better team than they were 1 year ago.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about that. And if Eastside has any designs otherwise after beating them a year ago, they're going to be sadly mistaken when they get the opportunity to play them, hopefully.
Well, lots of interesting postseason matchups to dissect in the coming weeks, and of course we enjoy doing that all too much. And one game going on right now that's has a postseason feel to it down in Indianapolis, Corey.
Yeah.
Probably the two best teams in the entire state of Indiana. Throw the classes out. You've got 6A, Center Grove, and 5A in Indianapolis Cathedral, both undefeated. And for all intents and purposes, as you build it, the Super Bowl for the state of Indiana.
Yeah, it really is. Center Grove, the MIC conference champs, the best conference in the state down in Indianapolis, playing the likes weekly of the Carmels and Warren Centrals and so forth. And then you've got Cathedral, who plays his maybe even tougher schedule. They go over into Ohio and play Cincinnati St. X and Cincinnati LaSalle, as well as playing Carmel and Westfield and so on. So, both teams enter the night undefeated, and I imagine that is just a battle royale down at Center Grove tonight, and looking forward at some point over the course of the weekend to pulling that up on live stream and watching the replay.
Yeah, why not? Well, we will step aside one last time here in our halftime break and be back after this 1 minute break. You are listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Redeemer Radio's Tune In for All In virtual fundraiser is still in progress, and we need your help. All donations propel our mission of evangelization forward. If you missed our live video event with special appearances from some of your favorite priests, go to redeemerradio.com/all-in. While there, make your donation or call or text GIVE to the Holy Cross College text line 260-436-9598.
Redeemer Radio is looking for ways to better serve a younger audience, and we want the input of our high school teams. So, we're having a contest. All high schoolers are invited to write a script of something they would like to hear on Redeemer Radio. It should be conversational and thought-provoking for our listeners. What's a faith-filled message that would inspire you and your friends? We'll produce and air scripts that we think fit our mission. The top winner receives a $100 Amazon gift card. Scripts should be between 30 and 60 seconds and can be emailed to contest@redeemerradio.com. The deadline is Monday, October 26th. Submit your script today.
We are back at Shields Field, 1:48 on the clock as the teams are back out warming up on the sidelines. And we are moments away from third quarter action here. So as we look across the SAC, Corey, as expected, Homestead taking care of business against Southside, even shorthanded. And they are on their way to the victory bell, second year in a row. So congrats to the Spartans. You know, as we look back on that triple overtime thriller, I think we had a feeling that was going to play a large role in determining the SAC champion. And as it turned out, that was the single difference between the Spartans and the Saints.
That's a great point. That really, for all intents and purposes, was the de facto conference championship game.
Yeah.
And came down to a triple overtime missed two-point conversion for the Saints. They were that close to regaining the victory bell.
Yep. Yeah, that's... It's a blemish, but it's one that I think the Saints will live with. They chose to go for two and go for the win. You can't fault them for that, especially as they were kind of behind the eight ball there as Homestead continued to pick up steam in those overtime periods. But
I didn't know. The game wasn't lost there. I think the game was lost when they didn't run the football with 3 minutes to go. But I'm harping on old wounds that are still open.
Well, you know, the wounds are back on the forefront now as we talk about a conference championship. As it's natural to look back on these moments that define the conference season, and that was probably the biggest one right there.
It was, and hopefully a learning experience that they're able to use to their favor as they head into the playoffs.
You know, I'll say this, and then we'll try to close up that wound, Corey. The only part of me that wanted the Saints to kick the extra point and go to the fourth overtime is because we got some good mojo in 4 overtime games.
That's what great point.
We know how to win it in 4 overtimes. Not many teams can say that.
Yeah, this program has experience in 4 overtime games on the positive side for sure.
Teams back out onto the field, and the Northrop Bruins will be kicking off to the Bishop Dwenger Saints to get things going here. Kicking right to left on your radio dial towards the scoreboard. And we will see the Saints offense back on the field. You know, and the other good thing about having a big lead on senior night, a lot of these players are going to get in there, and seniors that don't often see the field will get some playing time in front of mom and dad, and that's always fun to see.
That's a great point. With 22 of them, it's not always easy to get them all in, and hopefully they'll all get an opportunity to, I was going to say get their jersey dirty, but on this turf, I will just say sweaty.
Yeah. They'll take it. Bruins getting ready to kick this one away. There's the whistle. And the kick is kicked off down the sideline, trickling towards the sideline, but finds his way back inside. Campbell's going to pick it up at the 20-yard line and runs forward up to the 34.
Yeah, good kickoff outcome there for the Northrop Bruins. Squibbed it down the right sideline, and Saints were only able to get it back to about the 34. So they'll take over there with their offense. Looks like
Bodie Dickerson.
Bodie Dickerson going to start the second half here at quarterback with with the full complement of the Saints starting offense. This is a great opportunity for Bodie to get some reps with the starters and see if he can move the football a little bit.
Yeah. Well, we mentioned those, seniors trying to get in there. This receiving core is all juniors for Bishop Dwenger, with the exception of Campbell. And here's a first down run through the middle. Louis Tittman gains 7 yards on first down.
A little look like split zone there right up the middle with Louis, and the one thing that Kevin mentioned at halftime stats-wise was not a lot in the running game for the Saints, and I think they'll rectify that in the second half here.
Yep. Second and a short 3 for the Saints.
Sam Campbell at quarterback now in their little wildcat type of. They usually go a lot of power read and that sort of thing in this set.
Right, and that's why we see John Michael Fabini back there in the backfield as well. Here's a snap. Campbell will fake it, keep it himself around the far side, and tangled out there for no gain. Actually, a loss of 2 on the play.
Bit of a counter read there, I think, from the Saints, and not very effective though.
No. And Campbell will trot back to the sideline. So it'll be 3rd and 5.
They might want to send a quarterback in.
Yeah, unless KJ Tittman running to the sideline here. He might be running the Wildcat.
Aha. All right, here we go. I'm wrong. They don't need a quarterback.
10 on the play clock as they just break huddle. They'll have to rush this one. It will be KJ Tittman in the Wildcat position. We tick down to 1, and now the snap is off. KJ Tittman on the near side, and he is upended as he crosses the line of scrimmage and only able to get back 2 yards. And a flag in the far back field.
Jaden Schmenk in there on the tackle, number 12 for the Bruins, and but they're gonna call maybe a late hit on the Saints. Wait for the official to signal here. Way downfield.
It is a personal foul. Vinny Fiacable was down the field. It looked like he was down there trying to make a block and must have thrown one too late.
He was way downfield, which you love to see that from your offensive lineman in the run game, but maybe he got a little overzealous there.
He was trying to play wide receiver, Corey. It's about the only thing he hasn't done this year.
That's a dead ball foul, it appears, so it'll be a loss of down, and they're going to need to punt it away on 4th and about 16 here.
Yep. Simon Garrett getting set to kick things away. Darius Sanders deep for the Bruins. And Garrett gets that one away. Low kick, but it takes a Saints bounce inside the 40 down to the 35-yard line, and that's where the Saints pick it up. So 28-0. The good news if you're the Bruins is that drive by the Saints only took off 1:59 off the clock. And we'll see if this Bruins offense can get something going. And looking out on the Saints defense, looks like most of the regulars still in there.
Yeah, outside of their captain at middle linebacker, Devin Tittman, has maybe hit the showers early tonight to give him a nice opportunity to rest up, not only the second half here, but with a bye week next week, have some time off.
1st and 10, Cowan's going to get the ball. Stutter step, spin move through the middle, and he has gone across the 50-45 and finally tackled from behind. And a spectacular first down run for Cowan as we continue to see flashes of what makes him so special.
They ran a little crossbuck there in the backfield and handed it to Cowan, but his ability to spin, it was almost as if we were playing a video game and hit the spin button. I mean, that was fantastic out of Demarius Cowan.
Well, it was not only the spin move, but his ability to stop on a dime and make the cut without losing any speed whatsoever. He hit that hole hard. 1st and 10, Bates this time, another handoff for Cowan, trying to find the far side edge. He's going to get there, but courtesy of a Northrop hold as the back judge throws a flag.
Ran a little ISO play, little isolation to Cowan off the right side, and you're exactly right, that one's coming back.
So that will put the Bruins back onto their side of midfield, as Cowan's last run had taken them into Bishop Dwenger territory.
Well, and that's showing the electricity that we anticipated out of him tonight, and that's why we just, really we're harping on the fact that the more touches you can give that young man, the better off your offense is going to be.
Absolutely, not only in the running game, but setting up the pass as well. So they'll place this one at the Bruins' 45-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 23. Bates comes out in the shotgun with split backs, 2 receivers to the right side, or the left side, 1 to the right side. Bates looks to throw, looking to fire it down the sideline, but gets buried in the backfield before he can get there.
Sam Pisa.
Yep.
He's had a night, and he's adding to it, adding to the stat sheet, so to speak. Came in from his outside backer spot, and blindside sack on Keon Bates.
Almost had a forced fumble there, in addition to his fumble recovery for a touchdown, and now a sack to go along with that.
Sam taking advantage of senior night.
Why not? It is his night. 2nd and 30 now after the penalty and the sack, and a handoff through the middle, and breaking through the entire defense and back across midfield is a very strong run, and that was, I believe, Deshaun Jones on the carry.
Wow, a run by someone other than Cowan from a running back spot, and it was a spectacular run. Jones did a nice job there of not only eluding the tackler, but running over one in the process.
Bad news for the Bruins is they had a 2nd and 30. So they pick up 14 yards and still have a 3rd and 16 to go. Another passing situation for Bates. They send a man in motion, now 2 receivers to the left side. Bates will hand it off to Cowan, makes one cutback, and the ball is out. Looks like the Saints have it, waiting for the official signal.
Looked like
it is.
John Michael Fabini jarred that one loose on the hit, and couldn't tell if it was Gavin Groves or Sam Pisa again, maybe, on the recovery. Why not Sam Pisa?
It did. It looked like Pisa on the recovery. 2 fumble recoveries, 1 return for a touchdown, and a sack for Mr. Pisa.
That was John Michael Fabini who just stripped it.
So a heck of a play. The Saints defense continues to force turnovers. Last week they forced 4 of them by the Snyder Panthers, and that's really what turned the tides and enabled them to come back with 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. Turnovers, setting up short fields, and the offense capitalizing. It's been a good MO for the Saints.
It has been. Bodie Dickerson in again for the Saints offense.
1st and 10 right at midfield. It's going to be an inside handoff, and maybe 1 yard on that play. Louis Tittman straight into the heart of the Bruin defense.
I think that was a wham play where they used the H-back to to block the defensive tackle. What normally happens on that play is the offensive line will let the D tackle go, and it becomes almost a trap play using the H-back right up the middle. Very effective play, but we haven't seen that out of the Saints really this season. So a new wrinkle for the run game.
This is why we have you, Corey, to tell us about wham plays.
I love the wham play.
2nd and 9 for the Saints. And shotgun position for KJ Tittman. He's going to keep it himself and sidestepping through the defense inside the 30, 25-20, down to the 10-yard line. He's going to get tackled inside the 5, but KJ Tittman on a huge run has the Saints at the 2-yard line with a 1st and goal.
C.J. Davis able to bring him down. That was out of the Wildcat again, KJ Tittman. And now they'll run. Looks like they'll run Bodie Dickerson back in here at the 2-yard line and go back to a more traditional set.
Well, Dickerson has not had many scoring opportunities for the Saints, so this is another great experience for the young man to try to lead his team to a touchdown drive.
I formation.
Yep. Bread and butter for the Saints. KJ and Louie in the backfield. They'll give it to Louie. Bit of a miscommunication there on the handoff.
Yeah, the quarterback ran into both running backs, and I'm not real sure who he was trying to hand it off to, but nonetheless.
Whoever would take it.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to let. I wondered if they were going to pull Bodie out of there and let one of the running backs take it on a direct snap, but they're going to let him back in the I formation again. Let's try that same play. I imagine they're probably trying to get it to Louie on senior night, but we'll see what happens here.
Still on the 1-yard line, though. Inside handoff to KJ Tittman, and he is in for a Saints touchdown.
They'll give it to the junior, KJ Tittman.
2nd score of the night for KJ. That was all set up by a nice KJ Tittman Wildcat run. And the Saints on top 34-0 as Belanda attempting to put the PAT through to make it 35. That would, of course, enact the running clock rule. Snap is down. It is blocked. Blocked by the Bruins. They got a hand on it, and your score remains 34-0. We will step aside for a minute break here. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Are you retirement ready? Without a roadmap, the path towards and into retirement can be difficult. Summit Consultants, Inc., owned and operated by Loras alumni, understands the many concerns individuals and families face as they prepare for retirement. Our goal is to help clients feel confident about their future and pursue their vision of a comfortable retirement. Take the first step. Visit summitconsultantsinc.net or call us at 432-8480. Go Knights! Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA/SIPC.
What's the difference between Notre Dame Federal Credit Union and a bank? Well, banks are owned by investors looking to make a profit. Notre Dame FCU is different. We are a not-for-profit, member-owned cooperative. Our mission is to help our members improve their lives by providing products and services to save them money. If we end up with too much money ourselves, we simply give it away to our members' favorite charities. Last year, over $1 million. You already share our values. Why not share in our benefits? Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
We are back at Shields Field, 34-0 your score. Saints on top as Belanda squibs this one down the field. Goes through the hands of one return man and then picked up there down at the 26-yard line.
Calling foul on that missed extra point, Eric. That's the second time the Saints have had a chance to go running clock this season, and both times they've missed the extra point. I think that's part of the game plan.
That must be. Work that strategy in there. So it remains 34-0. Belanda, by the way, we saw him at halftime. Corey, I saw him kicking through 46-yard field goals at halftime. So he's got some
he's got the
some
leg.
distance.
Yeah.
Haven't been able to get the chance to see him test it quite to that range this season, but nice to know it's there. Here is Bates on first down, looking to throw, launches it down the far sideline, single coverage, receiver trying to come back and make the catch. And there was some contact there by Groves that prevented him from making the play, and that's going to be a flag.
I was afraid we were going to see some yellow hankies on the field for that one. And, just had a little bit of hand fighting there with the receiver and really wasn't looking back for the football, and that's normally going to get you a flag every time.
Yep. He was all over the receiver. If that ball had been on target, there probably would have been no penalty, but the fact that it was underthrown and the receiver had to try to make a play back on the ball, that's where the penalty came from. So the referee's having a discussion here. They have not yet moved the football.
Know that there's a whole lot of
not much to talk about, I would think.
It's a pass interference.
Yeah,
and,
that's what we
we'll
thought.
Move the ball 15 yards. I don't know what the discrepancy was about, but nonetheless, here we go.
Well, the ball marker had already been moved, and now the chain gain will follow him. So the ball will be marked up at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 Bruins. And Bates again in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the far side. Here's a snap. Cowan through the middle, hits his hole, and pushes forward up across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Boy, he hits the hole fast.
Yeah.
And good job. Credit the Saints defense for stopping him and holding just a 2 or 3 there.
I would say of all the running backs we've seen this year, Cowan just has his acceleration from the point he starts in the backfield until he gets the ball. He is already at full speed after about 2 steps there.
You know, in this day and age of spread offenses and passing games, you really don't get a chance to see an old school star running back very often anymore. And he fits the bill. He is a really talented young man.
He does. This time Bates is going to look to throw, fires it down the center of the field into double coverage. It is picked off by the Saints. Back on the other way down the sideline comes Gavin Groves looking for some blocks inside the 40 to the 35, and he is ushered out of bounds.
Just unfortunately the mark of an inexperienced quarterback throwing kind of late down the middle like that, right into double coverage, and just underthrew it a little bit. I think he had a receiver there that was kind of taking the top off the Saints defense, but he just underthrew it. And he needs to air that thing out and throw it a little sooner if he wants to try to complete it.
So Groves with yet another Bishop Dwenger takeaway, and the Saints offense is in business. As we see most of the starters in there. It looks like it. I tell you what, I saw Vinny Fiacable come off the field with a bit of a disgusted body language. I think he was wanting to run the Wildcat.
They're going back to the Wildcat. KJ Tippmann in the backfield with the direct snap.
Here's a snap. Is going to hand it off forward. Quick pass to Henry O'Keefe, and he speeds forward inside the 30-yard line to the 29.
Yeah, the old jet sweep from KJ to Henry O'Keefe. So KJ Tippmann gets credited with a pass on that play.
He's in the passing game now.
He's going to be able to tell Brendan that he is a perfect 100% completion percentage tonight.
Yeah, I don't think Lytle will be too amused by that. And we have a timeout on the field by the Saints, and we'll step aside with Bishop Dwenger on top of Northrop 34-0 here late in the 3rd quarter. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
At Story Point Fort Wayne, it's the little details that mean the most, like a simple smile as you pass through the hallway, or sitting down to dinner to find your steak cooked perfectly, like receiving a knock on your door to make sure you're attending an event, or residents coming together to watch the big game on TV. At Story Point Fort Wayne, we focus on the details to make sure each day for every resident is truly special. If you're thinking about senior living, call 1-855-40-STORY today to learn more about Story Point. That's 1-855-407-8679.
Welcome back, folks. The St. Felix Catholic Center in Huntington, Indiana offers one-day and overnight retreats with over 70 rooms. Be sure to visit Our Lady in her grotto and walk the 30 scenic acres. St. Felix is the former home of Blessed Solanus Casey. Visit their website at sfcatholiccenter.com to schedule your next meeting or retreat. 34-0 your score. Bishop Dwenger on top, and offense out on the field for a 2nd and 6. The 29-yard line. The Saints they punched in here, they might get to that running clock rule after all. Saints coming out 2 receivers to the right side. Now man in motion for Dickerson. He's going to roll to his right looking to throw. Fires it, and a bit underthrown. Looks like, nope, he did not come up with the ball. Looked like a great effort there by Sam Campbell.
Yeah, I thought he completed it from up here, but the official had probably a slightly better angle and and called it incomplete. But not a bad ball by Bodie.
Yep. Again, limited number of times he's been able to put the ball in the air, and now we see Jack Ellis coming out onto the field.
Wide receiver spot.
And Dickerson joins him in the huddle. So a lot of new numbers and faces and names getting a chance to play on a Friday night under the lights here at Shields Field. Dickerson in the shotgun on 3rd and 6. He's going to hand off to Louis Tippmann through the middle. A couple yards there. He's going to be about 3 yards short of a first down.
I presume they'll keep the offense in, or they may want to give Belanda a shot. It wouldn't be a bad dress rehearsal for later on in the season to kick about a 44-yarder, but no, they're going to stick with the offense.
Yeah.
Would have liked to have seen Joe get a shot at that.
We were just talking about that.
You know, and Joe's just a junior, though, so if it were senior night, he'd probably get a chance. If it were junior night, I guess.
Yeah.
If it were his senior night.
Well, you've had a lot of juniors stepping up tonight. 4th down, Dickerson's going to hand it off, and that one's going nowhere.
Devon
Bruins.
Godsey.
Yeah.
Number 8 for the Bruins in there to make his presence known, and that'll force turnover on down for the Saints.
Godsey filled up that hole quick. He had the tackle last week that stopped the Northside Legends from their 2-point conversion that would have given them the lead late in the game.
A lot of new jerseys in there for the Saints on defense.
Yep, wholesale substitutions here with 3:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. Bates is waiting the snap in the shotgun. He'll hand it off to Cowan through a big hole and just tripped up before he could break that one across the 34-yard line.
I think the Saints are lucky that he just got tripped up because he had a full head of steam and he was moving out. And but nonetheless, pickup of about 7 on the play.
Cowan just one in the latest of a line of great running backs to come out of Northrop. We talk about how many great running backs Bishop Dwenger has at all times, but Northrop, I mean, they went from Keyshawn Edwards to Jeremiah Green and now to Demarius Cowan. It's been quite a staple of running backs here for the Bruins. Cowan again this time, and he's pulling defenders with him up across the 38-yard line, and that's going to be good for a Bruins first down.
Straight up the gut. Tommy Whitty, I think, was the first Saint there on the tackle, but he was joined by multiple teammates.
So the clock's still running as the Bruins pick up another first down, 2:45 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Still plenty of time for the Bruins to try to get a score or two on the board as the Saints' second-string defense is in the game. Here's Cowan again through the middle. And Cowan able to get up to the 41-yard line.
Really nice tackle that time by 44, Sam Trable-Weir in there on the stop. That's a name we haven't called, I don't think, this season. So great job by sophomore Sam in there on that tackle.
Sounds like he's got his own nickname now, Sophomore Sam.
Yeah, just because I didn't want to attempt the last name again.
So 2nd and 7 for the Bruins. Man in motion for Bates. He'll hand it off on the jet sweep around the right side. Now cutting back, he's got some blockers across the middle of the field, across the 50, loses the football. The ball is out, and there's a big pile. Looks like the Saints say they have it. Waiting for the official here.
Jaden Schmenk was on the carry on that jet sweep. They're going to retain the football?
Yep, Bruins have the football.
Okay.
Wow, it was a great run after the pitch by Schmank, and he took that one back towards the middle of the field, and a couple Saints were there to make contact, jar the ball loose, but the Bruins able to fall back on the football. 1:30 to go here in this third quarter. 2 receivers to each side for Bates. Now man in motion. They'll fake the jet sweep. This time Cowan straight through the middle, and that's good for another 9.5 yards on first down.
That was a good-looking run there from Cowan. Just shy of the first down, it appears. Going to bring up 2nd and 1.
Cowan well on his way to that single-season mark for Northrop. Came into the game needing 78 yards. And he's got a 2nd and 1 for the Bruins. Bates in the shotgun, 2 receivers split to each side. And it's going to be Cowan through the middle. He's untouched through the center of the defense and into the secondary before he is finally brought down, all the way down inside the 20 at the 16-yard line.
He has some speed. I think Simon Garrett in there on that tackle. We don't see Simon get an opportunity very often beyond his punting duties, but does a nice job of bringing Cowan down there.
Garrett, the junior, preventing the touchdown on that play as Cowan took that one with a full head of steam and inside the red zone for the Bruins. Bates overlooking the defense, awaiting the snap. Here it is. Going to fake it to Cowan, keep it himself, and good for maybe a yard, and that's it.
One of the Bruin offensive linemen got rolled up on there a little bit, but fortunate he jumped up off the pile, thankfully.
That brings us to the end of 3. Bishop Dwenger still on top by a score of 34-0 here at Shields Field. We'll step aside for a minute. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Are you looking for an orthopedic specialist? Ortho Northeast has been serving the community for over 55 years with offices in 3 convenient locations. Dr. John Pritchard is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon with over 25 years of experience with O&E and can assist you with the best treatment plan for your knee or shoulder pain. Dr. John Pritchard is looking forward to meeting you and helping with all your orthopedic needs. Call Dr. Pritchard at 260-484-8551 or online at orthone.com.
Mike Lay with Knights of Columbus Insurance has been humbly serving Catholic families in Northeast Indiana since 2013. Knights of Columbus Insurance is a Catholic company serving Catholic families since its founding by Venerable Father Michael J. McGivney in 1882. Does your insurance company invest in a way that complements your religious beliefs? Are they pro-life, pro-family? Are they charitable and Catholic? If you would like to work with an insurance company that follows the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops guidelines for investments, call Mike to learn about the Catholic difference. Mike Lay with Knights of Columbus Insurance, 438-8677.
We are back at Shields Field and got confirmation during the break that Cowan now has both of those records tonight. Not only the career rushing record for Northrop, but the single season as well. Those 2 goals he had coming into the game tonight, picking up both of them, and a nice sign there that Bishop Dwenger acknowledged that record over the PA system, and both players and fans alike giving him a standing ovation.
Also heard that Cathedral leads Center Grove 13-10.
Ooh.
And that is impressive out of a 5A Cathedral team.
2nd and 9 for the Bruins. It's going to be an option pitch to Cowan. He drives through a couple defenders and makes his way down to the 10-yard line. It'll be 3rd and short.
Speed option run by Cowan out to the left side there, and it looked like both 44 Sam Trable-Ware and also 42 Mitch Vogelweed both in on the stop there, the middle linebackers. The Cathedral score really interesting there. We talked about a little bit about them in Center Grove, but that's very likely would be the Saints' South opponent if they were to make it down to Lucas Oil Stadium in 5A this year.
It's going to be a 3rd down handoff, and Cowan gets wrapped up as this young Saints defense answered the call on that play.
Nice play out of the Saints defense in there. Looked like 78 came off the bottom of the pile, and that is John Parapi. We'll go with that.
We do our best, folks.
When we get down to the near running clock, there are some names that will escape us.
4th and 5, Bruins on the 10-yard line trying to get in the end zone, and the Saints defense trying to preserve the shutout. Bates hit as he throws. It's a live ball. The Saints fall on top of it, and Bishop Dwenger preserves the shutout.
Cole Carey delivered the blow, and quarterback Keon Bates is still not up yet. Slowly working his way to the sidelines, but big-time sack and forced fumble from Cole Carey.
Impressive play there by the Saints defense as the pressure able to get to the quarterback, and Bishop Dwenger takes over now on their own 15-yard line.
To go back and talk about the state 5A a little bit, Eric, when we get an opportunity about the path that the Saints will have to travel to make it down to Indianapolis to get an opportunity to play another state championship battle again against Cathedral. We've seen that a few times in the past.
But first, we have a timeout by the Saints, and we will step aside as well. You are listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Mike Lay with Knights of Columbus Insurance has been humbly serving Catholic families in Northeast Indiana since 2013. Knights of Columbus Insurance is a Catholic company serving Catholic families since its founding by Venerable Father Michael J. McGivney in 1882. Does your insurance company invest in a way that complements your religious beliefs? Are they pro-life, pro-family? Are they charitable and Catholic? If you would like to work with an insurance company that follows the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops guidelines for investments, call Mike to learn about the Catholic difference. Mike Lay with Knights of Columbus Insurance, 438-8677.
Back at Shields Field, let's check in with Nick Gray on some scores.
Okay. Right now we've got Lures hanging in there with Snyder, but it is 21-13. They're just starting the fourth quarter. Carroll's over at Wayne. They're leading that 42-12. Northside's beating Concordia 7-0. Homestead's up on Southside 31-0. And then flip that over. Leo's beating DeKalb 31-0. Huntington North's beating, or New Haven's beating Huntington North 34-7. And then the other game we're keeping an eye on tonight is Eastside over at Angola. Eastside's leading that 35-7. So back up to you guys.
Wow. Thank you, Nick. Blazers continue to impress. So a 1st and 10 for the Saints. Dickerson in at quarterback, hands it off through the middle, and looks like Cole Carey. Nope.
Aziz Dixon.
Yep, Dixon on the carry. Gets up to the 19-yard line as the Saints dip into their deep well of running backs.
Let's talk about the path in 5A.
Let's
Eric.
do that.
The Saints will open against Anderson High School in 2 weeks from tonight right here at Shields Field.
Yep.
Get by the Anderson Indians, and then we'll get an opportunity to play the winner of Northrop and Northside in the sectional final. Then we'll talk about regional after this play.
Yep, that game with Northrop and Northside, if it's the Legends, that'll be here at Shields Field. If it is the Bruins, that will be at Northrop. Hand off to Dixon, this time good for 3 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Regional, you will likely see either Lafayette Harrison again, who we saw 1 year ago in Lafayette, or potentially Zionsville. Zionsville, those two teams appear to be the best two of the bunch in the sectional that feeds into the Saints regional. And then getting out of regional and on to semi-state, you're more than likely looking at Valparaiso once again to be the team standing in the way of a trip to Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yep, Valparaiso playing their 5th game of the season tonight after COVID issues. Here's 3rd down, inside handoff, and the Northrop defense able to hold Dixon to no gain on the play. It'll be 4th down punting situation.
Sure, the Saints would love to have another opportunity at Valparaiso after going there a year ago and coming home without the win.
Now the Saints, as we look at how things may play out, it looks like the Saints would more than likely host the regional if it is Harrison. If it's Zionsville, it might be a trip down to Zionsville for that game.
it's entirely possible that if things would flow the right way, the Saints could end up all the way to semi-state without having to go on the road potentially, which would be
incredible.
Wild, but entirely possible.
Yeah, the way those are set up, for those of you who don't know, you have the random sectional draw, the tournament draw that lets you know what team is playing what team in the first round and such in the sectional field. And then when you get to the sectional final and the regional final, you go forward, there's other factors that come into play, such as who's on the top versus the bottom in the bracket, and also who has not hosted a championship game. As Simon Carrott punts this one away, an excellent punt all the way down inside the 30-yard line of the Bruins, and now on the return going backwards inside the 10-yard line and finally pulled down late. And we see that return there by the Bruins. It made a lot of running room there, and for negative yardage was Darius Sanders.
There's a good chance that one of the Bruin coaches will kindly ask Mr. Sanders to stop by and discuss with him the merits of running forward rather than backward on that return.
Yes, he will probably put it very gently. I think that would be a fair assessment.
Yeah.
So instead of having the ball about the 25-yard line, they'll be back at the 15.
As my old high school coach used to say, we'd prefer north and south rather than east and west on the old run there.
Yep. So the Bruins will take over at the 15-yard line, 8:02 to go.
And they've made some substitutions on offense.
They have. Get some numbers on those as they come. We've got a handoff here for no gain. Playing quarterback now for the Bruins, Elijah Madison.
And didn't pick up the number on the running back, trying to find that. Looks like, let's see here, 24.
Yep.
That would
Michael Neighbors.
Michael Neighbors on the carry. And he's hobbling already, running off after the one carry. Unfortunate to see that one carry and hobbling off.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, no gain on the play. Spread things out, 2 receivers to each side. Here's Madison in the shotgun, now man in motion. And they'll give it to Schmenk on the jet sweep, cuts inside. Going to go up to about the 15-yard line to the 17. Gain of 3 or 4 yards on the play, be 3rd and long.
Great job on the right side of that Dwenger Saints defense. A lot of youngsters in there now, and didn't get to pick up the numbers, but those young men doing a nice job.
Yeah, that jet sweep can be hard to defend with a speedy receiver coming all the way across the formation, already running at full speed when he gets the handoff.
Stats Thompson told me that was Michael Becker in on the tackle, number 32 for the Saints.
Very nice. So 3rd and 8 now. Madison tries to hand it off. Ball is on the turf and has to fall on top of it. So loss there will bring up 4th down. And that's the kind of thing that you get sometimes when you have the backups in there, and that's why you get them in these late game situations. Get them some reps, get them some experience for down the road.
The Friday night lights can be pretty bright sometimes.
And nonetheless, that is how they get experience. That is how they get some real game action under their belt to help them in the future.
We've got
flag on the play.
Procedure on the Bruins. We'll back it up 5.
Saints still on top 34-0 here at Shields Field. 5:48 to go in the ball game as they'll march this one back 5 yards against Northrop. Well, Corey, the streak is still intact as the Saints have scored over 16 points. They'll move to 27-0 under Coach Garrett when scoring at least 16 points in regulation. Here is the punt formation for Northrop on 4th and 16. Punting from the own goal line, another very high punt with not a lot of distance. It's going to bounce at the 25-yard line and then back towards the Northrop end zone. And that's going to be fielded at the 27.
Great opportunity for the Dwenger Saint youngsters, JV offense, I presume, in there. 22 yards away from pay dirt here to potentially pick up a varsity touchdown.
Coaching staff having a word with all of them right now.
I think they're just trying to make sure they have 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get everyone in there.
Yeah. We're asking who hasn't been in the game yet to make sure everybody's got a dirty jersey tonight.
Yeah, and of course every blue jersey on the sideline says, I haven't, Coach.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm ready.
Put me in. Yeah, well, we still don't know we've got 11. All right, now we've got 11.
Yep, Teddy Steele coming on at the last second. 1st and 10. Dickerson's going to hand off to Dixon, who cuts back and takes it inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line. Picks up 5 yards on 1st down.
Little counter tray there from Aziz Dixon. Nice little run.
Well, the Saints are going to wrap up their 3rd straight season with 1 loss in the regular season. Back in 2018, their only loss was at home to Snyder. Last year at home to Homestead, and this year at Homestead. Only 3 regular season losses in 3 years is pretty good. Dickerson's going to roll out to his left looking to throw, but he's got pressure in his face, and he is going to get ushered out of bounds for a huge loss back at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, just a little experience item there. He needs to chuck that into the stands, so to speak, and avoid the big loss. But that's why he's in there getting some reps right now.
Exactly. Good coverage by the Bruins downfield. And it looked like he had pressure coming from the backside, so really never had a good chance to square his shoulders and find a receiver. But as you said, just chuck that thing out of bounds and call it a day.
Live to fight another play.
Instead, it's a loss of 11, so 3rd and 21. Dickerson looks to throw again. Screen pass caught by Dixon at the 30. He's got some blockers inside the 20. Pushes his way. The ball pops out. And it gets it right. Nope, Northrop comes up with the football.
That young man, I think that's the former quarterback, number 3, Kareem Freeman.
Yeah.
It makes the hit and recovers the fumble, all with a broken hand. Outstanding play by Freeman.
Yeah, Freeman, the senior, we said earlier, playing predominantly linebacker now, has a big cast on his right hand after breaking it. I've always wondered, does that cast give you an advantage to kind of just whack that thing in there? Maybe it makes it easier to poke the ball out, maybe.
Well, maybe, but it certainly doesn't make it easier to recover it.
No. No, at this point, I don't think he's going to be playing quarterback this season, so might as well make your mark where you can.
Great play.
So Northrop takes over, 4:38 to go. Another broken play there as a snap is dropped by Madison. And Bishop Dwenger gets the ball right back. How about that?
Oh, my.
Yep.
We're accomplishing a lot of clock stoppages. Not a lot of yardage.
Back and forth we go as the turnovers pile up for both teams. And as you said, Corey, that's a byproduct of these players with very little varsity experience getting in here.
Good opportunity to get some reps, and Saints are back here with another opportunity for their JV offense to potentially score a varsity touchdown here. Going to start from the 17.
Dickerson still in at quarterback. 2 receivers to the left side, 1 to the right, and Aziz Dixon with him in the backfield. Dixon's going to take the handoff and picks his way across the 15-yard line before being spun out of bounds. Clock will stop there. I tell you what, Corey, this Northrop team coming into the game, we said they needed a win to finish with a winning regular season. gunning for win number 5. They're not going to get it tonight, but still you have to tip your hat to what Jason Dorfler's done. In his 7th year here, came in, they only won 2 games in each of his first 4 seasons, but then started turning things around, and we saw them get a 3-win season in 2018 and then 5 last year, and they'll try to get 5 in the first round next week. This time a stop here by the Saints, or by the Bruins.
Yeah, Aiden Rogers on the carry there for the Saints on a little wing counter. 4:10 and ticking.
But back to the previous point, you got to believe that Dorfler has this program headed in the right direction, Corey.
Yeah, they've built this thing on a strong running game, and be interesting to see who their back du jour is next year with Mr. Cowan graduating.
And it's going to be an inside handoff to Aziz Dixon, trying to fight for extra yardage, makes his way down to the 10-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down for the Saints, 3rd and 3. Tick down to 3:20 to go. Nope, check that, 4th down. That last play was 3rd down. So 4th and 3. And the Dwenger backups stay on the field and try to run the rest of this clock out. Dickerson's awaiting the snap, and movement before the snap, and that's going to cost him a 1st down there.
Very savvy move out of the Saints staff there on the hard count to pick up that 1st down. They're going to go 1st and goal from the 5.
Another chance to punch this one in. We saw the backup crew get a touchdown on the back of KJ Tittman, but now they're truly a backup with all the backup backs in there as well.
Bruins appear to have a backup defense in as well, so this is a prelude to tomorrow's JV game, probably.
There you go. Dickerson looking to throw, tosses it into the end zone, jump ball, It is caught. And Bodie Dickerson with his first varsity touchdown pass into the end zone, trying to get a number on that receiver.
It sure, that was the Northrop defensive back was right there to make the play and mistimed his jump. He jumped too early, the ball went right over his head to the Saints receiver, and Bodie Dickerson will throw his first touchdown pass of his varsity career.
How about that?
85 on the catch, we're being told, and that's Stellan Rustin. Congratulations, Stellan, his first varsity touchdown.
And the backup kicker in there as well, boots it through.
Ryan Ward in there, left-footed kicker.
And the Saints go up by a score of 41-0 here with 2:14 to go in the ball game. We'll step aside. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
In every epic mission, there are different roles to fulfill. This is true of the most important mission, evangelization. While the role you play may change based on your circumstances, we are all called to make Christ known. Redeemer Radio fulfills the role as the external proclaimer of the true, good, and beautiful. But there are other ways to contribute. Donating to Redeemer Radio gives you a chance to be active participants in evangelization, and we need you to help carry on the mission.
We are back at Shields Field. 41-0 is your score. Bishop Dwenger on top as the backups get in the game and get a touchdown on the board for the Saints. And it was sophomore to sophomore. Bodie Dickerson putting it into the air, and Stellan Rustin coming down with it. And whoever the quarterback is next year for the Saints is going to have a plethora of weapons to throw to. As we mentioned, Sioka, O'Keefe, Jack Tittman, all those guys are juniors. As this one is kicked away, fielded at the 25-yard line. And from near to the far side of the field and tackled there at the 32-yard line on the return for the Bruins was number 28, and that was Deshaun Jones.
Nice run back there for Jones, and minute 55 left, and we're on to the running clock portion of the game.
Yep.
The mercy rule.
So the Saints are going to come out with a victory tonight. And, you know, it's interesting when you have that bye week, Corey. Of course, playing in 4A, it's something the Saints never had. And since moving up to 5A, due to the success factor last year, they were able to take advantage of that as this handoff goes good for about 9 yards on first down. And, you know, obviously late in the season, anytime you can get a week to rest up and get all your players healthy is good. Is there ever a concern for, you know, the whole rust theory in that case? Yeah,
there's some rhythm, especially offensively. If you're in a good offensive rhythm, sometimes you don't want that week off. But it's the same for everybody, basically, throughout the course of 5A and 6A. So you just got to deal with it, and you got to do some things in your practice regimen to maintain that rhythm. I would anticipate some live 2-minute drills and some things like that over the course of the next couple of weeks to try to maintain that offensive rhythm, because it is critical.
Desmond Shaw takes the run for a Bruins first down, and we'll see they might get one more play off here as we tick down inside 20 seconds. Madison awaiting the snap with trips to the far side of the field. He's going to take it. Another handoff to Shaw. Looking for the corner. He's got it across midfield, tackled at the 45-yard line. And that's going to bring us to the end of the ball game. The Bishop Dwenger Saints cap off the regular season with a 41-0 win over the Northrop Bruins, and the Saints finish the regular season 8-1, while the Bruins fall to 4-5 with the loss. We'll step aside, be back to wrap things up from Shields Field. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram knows that every buyer is different. Maybe you don't have a trade, or you don't have a whole lot to put down. Maybe you're working through a divorce, and maybe you declared bankruptcy that one time. You don't have to settle for a poor, depleted selection of vehicles on some shady corner lot, because believe it or not, you can still drive a brand new vehicle. Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has a finance approval plan just for you. You can still have a big dealership experience, even with credit issues, at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, under the giant American flag on Coliseum, and always online at Glenbrook Dodge.